Hello everyone and welcome back to the YouTube channel. So today we are going to talk about content marketing. So why most therapist content doesn't convert even if it's good. So let's name the frustration without blame. If you are a therapist who creates content and sometimes wonders why it doesn't seem to lead anywhere, well, this video is for you. Not because you are doing it wrong, and not because your content lacks quality as well. But in fact, many therapists are producing content that is thoughtful, ethical, intelligent, and genuinely helpful. And still, no inquiries, no movement, no clear signal that it's working. So today I want to talk about why that happens, and more importantly, why it's not a personal failure. So let's answer that question. Why good content often stays invisible? And it's one of the most confusing experiences for therapists online is that contradiction. People say your content is good, they like it, they even save it, and sometimes they even thank you for it, but nothing changes. So this is because good content and directional content are not the same thing. Because good content informs, but directional content orients. And most therapist content is designed to be correct, careful, and supportive. But very little of it is designed to lead the reader somewhere internally. So it gets consumed and then it is released. Not because it lacks value, but because it lacks movement, it lacks orientation. So let's talk about the therapist reflex that creates noise. So therapists are of course trained to hold space and not to guide decisions. So when we create content, we often default to neutrality. We explain, we normalize, we avoid assumptions, and we stay open-minded. And all of that is ethically sound. But here is the issue. When every piece of content is open-ended, the audience never knows what to do next. So they don't feel oriented, they don't feel invited, they don't feel guided, and they feel informed and then alone again. So this is not because they don't trust you, but it's because you didn't help them locate themselves. So it's why content without direction will create cognitive rest. So that is something that is really rarely said, but content that has no direction often creates a feeling of temporary relief. It soothes, it resonates, it validates, it resonates, and it also allows the nervous system to rest without reorganizing. So the reader thinks, yes, that's me. I feel like that. I feel like that, and then they move on. So no decision, no clarity, no internal shift. And that is why therapists can post consistently and still feel stuck where they are right now. Because the content is doing emotional work, but not structural work, no directional work. And it's why it will and it's why posting more will never solve that problem. And when content doesn't convert, the instinct is often to increase input. Post more, explain more, be more visible. But visibility doesn't fix a lack of direction or strategy, because more content without intention behind doesn't clarify the work, but it just blurs it. So the audience may see many directions, many pieces, but no clear orientation, no clear road in front of them. So over time, they stop seeing your content as a pathway, but start seeing your work as it is a background with many different possibilities, and in the end, no direction at all. And it's not because it is not, it's not because it is boring, but because it doesn't ask anything of them. And that detail leads us to the quiet shift that will change everything. So the shift is subtle but profound as well. Effective content doesn't ask, is this helpful? But it asks instead, what is this for? So, is this meant to help someone feel understood, help someone recognize a pattern, help someone feel safe enough to consider support, to consider your support? So, those are different intentions, they are different strategies, they require different wording, different pacing, and different endings as well. So when content has intention behind, then it stops being noise because it will lead to the next step. It becomes a step, not pressure, not persuasion, not manipulation, but just orientation towards a, a unique direction. So in the end, if your content has not been converting, it doesn't mean you need to change who you are. And it certainly doesn't mean you need to be more marketing oriented. But it usually means your content is doing one job while you expect it to do another job. So once that becomes clear, then everything will simplify. Because you have to understand that every action that you are doing must have an intention, a role behind. So if you are doing content just to make content, just to give value, for example, to your potential clients, then it's good for them. But you won't get anything from that strategy because you are just providing education. But you can provide education, but lead the potential client to a next step. So, for example, you can make content marketing. Well, content marketing doesn't just means that you are posting on Instagram, for example, and then you guide your potential client to a CTA or a click to action. So you guide them to the next step. So you don't persuade them to do it, but you give them the option to take the next step. And the next step might be to book a call with you. The next step might be to get a free PDF about a specific topic that you are interested in. So it's really where you must understand that everything you do must have a role, must have a strategy behind, so that it becomes efficient in the long run. And of course, content marketing is not a short-term strategy, but it is a long-term run, but it always pays off in the end. So you don't need to post. Well, sorry, you didn't. You don't need to post more. You don't need more platforms. You don't need to perform more, but you just need to create direction. With a design, with a structure, then you will finally have the results you want, because you will build something that has the how to say that. So you will have you will build something that will get the intention that you have always wanted to have. So if you want to post on Instagram to get more inquiries, then you need to do content that will lead to more inquiries. So you need a system to attract more inquiries, and it is simply as giving the option to the potential client reading your content to book a call, for example. So it's really easy. You don't need any tricks. You don't need to follow trends. It's really fundamentals. But a lot of people are not following those fundamentals, and in the end, it doesn't work. But if you have to remember something from this video, remember that every action you take must have a role, must have an intention, must have a strategy behind. And in general, uh, either people associate the wrong intention with what they are doing, or they don't associate any intention at all. So it's why it doesn't work. So that is for this video. So I hope that you'd like it. So as always, you can put a like, follow the YouTube channel, and let's see each other to the next video. And we have also the Therapist Cafe free group on the Skool platform. So if you want to meet new therapists to talk about ethical marketing, about growing an ethical practice, well, you can join us. So I wish you a good day.